Hello, my name is Xenia, and I have taken upon myself the project of reading uh, 100 important books, classic books, best-loved books, books you should read before you die. And I think I will share this journey with you, if nothing else, just to make a video record of the books I have read. So this is an introductory video, just explaining the rules I've made for myself. So I got the list, I went to Goodreads, and I was horrified to discover that Goodreads was posting on my page there every book I ever bought on Amazon. I never go to Goodreads, so I didn't know this was going on. So there's hundreds of books that I bought from Amazon, right there on Goodreads for everybody to see. All the silly books I bought for Christmas presents for my grandchildren, etc. So I deleted Goodreads. But first, I took a look at their 100 books list, and I discovered that I had read probably 2/3 of them already, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to read them again. And some of their books I have no intention of reading again. That would be Lolita by Nabokov, Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger. I don't really like modern literature very much. So I found other lists and I found other books. There's an endless supply of Dickens and Jane Austen and Dostoevsky books that I could fill in with, and that's what I did. So I looked around my house, our house, and I discovered that I probably own physical copies of over 50% of these books. So I collected them all up and stacked them on a table in the bedroom. And I'm working my way through these books. Now, it is my intention to actually read physical copies of these books. There may come a time when I listen to audio recording of it. There may come a time when I read it in Kindle, but my plan is to actually acquire all these books, secondhand if possible, and just read the physical copies because I feel like that's something we are losing in this world. Now, a few more rules I have for myself. I don't have to read them in a particular order, and if I get a ways into a book and I discover that I just don't like it, like happened just recently, I was reading the book The Chrysalids, and I just realized this was a young adult book, and I just really didn't care for it. So I crossed Chrysalids off the list, but the rule I've made for myself is if I get rid of one book, I have to replace it with a book a little longer, so to make it harder on me. So that's one of the rules, and if I find a book out there that I think really fits the list better than something I already have on there, I'm free to swap. But I'm not free to swap for a shorter book. It has to be a longer book. So I've given myself a time limit for this. I hope very much. My goal is to have this list completed by December 31st of 2026. This is September 8th of 2025. So that gives me a year and September, October, November, 4 months. So 16 months to read all these books. And I've already read 4 of them, 5 of them, I think. And each episode is going to be me discussing a book. So I have a little small backlog I need to catch up on. This YouTube I did just came to me sometime last night. So now here's the thing. I am not a particularly deep person. I am not a particularly thoughtful person. On the whole, I think I'm a pretty shallow person. So one of the reasons I want to read these books is I don't know if a depth of character can be put in a person this late in life, but we're going to give it a try. And it also, unfortunately, means that my analysis, so-called, of these books is going to reflect my shallowness. I'm sorry. So I'll probably talk about silly little things that these books have in them that appealed to me in my silly way. I also would like to tell you that I am a Christian. I'm an Eastern Orthodox Christian. And so whether I like or dislike a book will have a lot to do with whether it comports well with my Orthodox faith. So I'm probably not going to be very pleased with books that promote atheism, although I plan to read a few. And I will like Orthodox writers like Dostoevsky, Gogol, Tolstoy quite a bit. I'm also going to, this is pure folly, I'm sure, I'm going to produce a list. I'm going to rate these books from 1 to 10. So, for instance, if I had chosen to read Lolita, it would have had a 0. It would not have been worth even a 1. But something like the Bible, which is on my list, that would be a 10. And I think a lot of books will fall somewhere in between. And I have to make a decision. Am I giving this book a low rating just because I don't agree with the author's philosophy of life, although it might be very well written? Or, I just have to realize not every book was written for me, but it still might be well written. So that is a situation I'm going to have to wrestle around with a little bit. But if anyone watches this and you want to put additions in the comments, you can give some insight, because I don't have a lot of insight, as I've said. So this is the end of this little video. This is a kind of a test video. I'll see if I can find some free YouTube music to put behind it, and maybe some kind of artwork to put before and after. I'm not going to have anything fancy here. There's not going to be any Patreon or anything like that. Probably nobody will ever watch these videos except me to look back and see what did I think of that book I read 5 months ago. So that's the plan. So having said that, here's something I have noticed when I watch videos, is they have many video producers have trouble wrapping things up. They just can't quite say goodbye. They just linger on. So I'm just going to say thank you for watching, and have a good day, and go read a book.